Cause
Well, good night. Good night. Welcome back, the Odyssey podcast with Word and Mimi, of course. We are back in the building. What's the word, me?
hey, Grum. So we're just doing a nice little chill vibe, no pressure. We don't want you bum bitches over here anyway. So it's really just a nice little private, you know, just getting the swing of things, back going live for when it's time to do our main thing.
Yes, I totally agree with that. Like 100%. I feel like this is definitely a nice little private chill live. You said everything perfectly because that's exactly what it's given. And of course, you know how we just be vibing out. It's a lot of things that I've been seeing that has definitely been on some shit like, oh my God, I cannot believe this is happening, especially with these big time celebrities and all of that. So, definitely just wanted to just tap in and kind of just vibe out and feel out the energy and stuff like that. So, I mean, like I'm gonna tell y'all, if y'all like the content, subscribe, hit the up like button, notification bell if you happen to come in and see this video later on. So, me, tell me how you've been feeling about everything you've been seeing as far as what's been going down, people getting locked up, people getting killed, all type of different things going on. Like, how are you feeling about just hearing about a lot of the abuse that's been going on from higher ups in the industry, in the music industry? Let's just put it out there. Like, what's your thoughts on everything like you've been hearing right now?
I mean, music industry wise, I feel like all these people been doing the same shit. It's just a matter of people catching them now. We live in a day and age where back then when you put something down on a piece of paper, they will rip it up, put it in the furthest file cabinet they can find. But now it's like the moment that you put a court document and sue someone, it's public information. You don't even need proof to do a lot of this shit anymore. But what makes it sick, like about the R. Kellys and the Diddy's and all of that shit, this shit been going on about them. So at this point, whether it's true or not, it doesn't even matter.
I feel like I could agree with the fact that I do feel like it has been going on for a long period of time, and I also feel like it is only surfacing because of certain things that people probably didn't fulfill when it came down to their contracts, because it seems like when these celebrities are trying to so-called change their lives, that now all of these things start to come out about them. And I mean, to be real with you, the Diddy shit, I already knew. Like, for me, I just felt like he had like a evil energy, first of all. And this date back from like Biggie and Pac days, right? But just to even sit there and hear the shit that this man was doing, I was saying to myself, like, this is so crazy because it's a fucking P. Diddy everywhere. Let's just keep it real. It's just that he's a celebrity, so it's pronounced. You know what I mean? But let's be real. It's motherfuckers out here that's doing exactly what P. Diddy is doing. They just don't got P. Diddy money. You get what I'm saying? And it's sad because a lot of these women that are not even getting that spotlight, like how Cassie now has the ability to get that spotlight and get her story out. There's a lot of women out here that's going through the same exact thing, and they definitely can't get their story out on what's going on with them because they're so traumatized, they're so scared, and it's sickening at the end of the day. But what's most sickening is that it's dealing with a black man yet again disrespecting black women, but you guys don't see how it's, how can I say it, like, it's almost like in the industry it had the colorism, but it's colorism everywhere. But y'all base women on different types of levels, like if we have, like if we're animals, like if we're dogs, like, you know what I mean, like I don't understand that kind of thought process when it comes down to it, like depending on the way you look or how dark or whatever may be the situation is how I'm going to treat you, you know what I mean. And it's consistently coming from the same men that sit there and say they want a traditional woman, or they want their women to be like this or whatever have you. So I mean, for me, it's just like the whole shit is just sickening, sick to your stomach when you hear the graphic things that these motherfuckers, and I'm sorry to be cursing like this, but I'm just going to be honest, and it's just my feelings, you know what I mean, that they could sit there and do all of this and break these women down to a point where they can't even see themselves no more, and they're so lost, and they just feel like there's no way out but feeling like they're gonna die in the process, you know what I mean. So I don't know, what's your thought process? I know you said what you said, so when it comes down to these people, but I know that you also have a little bit of insight when it comes down to just the treatment of us on a whole. And welcome, welcome, Sleepy Lounge. Thank you for popping in. Welcome.
Okay, see now it's a double-edged sword for me because
I can't hear you, me. Say
hello,
that again.
Cassie. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you perfect now.
Okay, my bad. My Bluetooth disconnected. So while I can sympathize with Cassie, I don't know. Like I don't know. You like I can't relate. That's all I can say because it's like to sit there and deal with that level of abuse that long. And again, I'm trying not to be mean. Okay, I'm gonna just say what I feel. I feel like women like Cassie allow there to be Diddy's in this world. Because the fact that you sat there that fucking long for the sake of the quote unquote bag and dealt with that level of abuse, that level of weird shit, all for the sake of a dollar sign.
I mean, now I'm going to play devil's
At some
advocate a
point,
little
it's
bit.
like, when do women say, okay, fuck this? This is not worth it. I'm out. Like I can understand the initial like, okay, this nigga got me fooled, and because everybody brings their best representative. But when that motherfucker get tired of playing out that act, like Cassie dealt with this shit for a very long time. And it's just like that's just the reason why niggas like that exist, because you have women that enable them.
So now, if I was to play devil's advocate right now, because
So it's
let's
like,
just
while
say,
I can look at Diddy and say, oh, you were this, and you were that, the same thing I could do with R. Kelly. Y'all know this shit. Like, this is no secret. Like, the women that decide to deal with them, they know all these things before they jump in a game with these niggas. So it's just like, he did what we thought he was going to do.
so now playing devil's advocate, right? Okay, so taking the little bits and pieces of
I
information.
think where my confusion comes in is where, like, okay, that was my biggest question with Cassie. What was her goal when it came to doing what she was doing? Like, was her goal to get criminal charges? Was her goal to have money? Like, what was the actual goal?
I think she wanted to be in a record company, you know what I mean? And try to get herself in the door as far as music wise, but I don't think that she was actually cut out for it. Sleepy Lounge, Sleepy Lounge Talks is basically saying to us, Cassie playing with the devil got her looking stupid being in it so long. I could agree with that.
Right.
G Dubs, welcome, 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 G Dubs. But nah, I can totally agree with that. But then you have you have people that will say that Cassie was groomed because of the age in which she met Diddy, and then going through a whole love bombing to then that whole process of them being abused and being drugged and all these different things. And I do agree, it comes to a certain point where even if you know to yourself that you're so scared that you're gonna basically fight your way out and try to get out that situation as best as you could, right? Because it's already shown that you were able to do that. You was able to get out because now you are married and you have two children. You know what I mean? So I do feel like she allowed herself to stay in a situation way too long. I do also feel that she did suffer a lot of trauma and abuse by Diddy. I mean, it's just so many different thoughts when I guess it comes down to the situation, because I can see it on a 50-50 level of like, girl, you definitely stood in that situation a little bit way too long, and whatever kept you there, if you're saying fear kept you there, then fear should have been something to also want you to get the hell up out of there. You know what I mean? So I I don't want to speak in the terms of me understanding what she was going through at that moment when she was going through the abuse that she was going through from him, what state of mind she was in. I mean, I know certain circumstances of being in an abusive situation, even though you want to get out of it, it's like your mind be playing so many different tricks on you, and you end up still staying. And some people end up staying too long to where they never come out, and some people end up having that chance to actually get out. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's definitely crazy. Life of Pearl, welcome.
Hey everybody. Hey Rob Money. Hey G Dubs. Hey Life of Pearl.
I mean, me. I I'm waiting for you. I mean, I totally feel what you saying when it comes down to that whole entire situation. I don't know how y'all feeling about this whole situation with the Cassie shit. We just in here talking, vibing, not doing too much. I'm gonna let Mimi jump in. Me, you gonna jump in for me real quick? I'll be right back.
Y'all, I am making a purchase in the store, so please do not mind me. I'm gonna go out for maybe like 30 seconds. Give me 1 second.
I'm back. I'm back. Getting too comfortable will definitely lead you into something good or worse. I mean, 100%. I totally agree with that Sleepy Lounge talk. In my opinion, she was between a rock and a hard place. She saw the amount of power and money he had, and I think she got her strength to leave after she started eating. She started what? Oh, I mean, it says eating, but I know what you mean. She started seeing her husband. Okay. I mean, I agree with that too, G Dubs. I mean, like that's why I said sometimes you don't know the state of mind a person may be in when they're going through situations such as abuse, especially that type of abuse, and then being how can I say it, being treated like next to nothing, where your body is no longer your body, it's somebody else's body, and they're taking it and forcing you to use your body to satisfy their thoughts and their demonic feelings, and it's just craziness. So I totally hear where you coming from, G Does. I do think at a where whatever state of mind she was in, I definitely do feel she felt like she was in a rock and a hard place. I am speechless. It's a lot being revealed. I can't keep up. Listen, hashtag Life of Pearl. I feel the same way. I cannot keep up. When me and my homegirl over here be talking, I be like, girl, this shit is crazy. But you see my homegirl over here. She be putting in perspective, like, and that's
I
where
just don't believe that all women are victims just because the man is more of an evil character. Like to me, Cassie is a victim, but to an extent. It's like no one put a gun up to your head and told you to go be with Diddy. It's like
that's
for
true.
me,
I mean,
it's just like what the fuck? At what point do we hold women accountable for seeing bullshit and gladly walking into the fire? The fire was burning. You see this nigga is a weirdo, especially on TV, and you walk smack into the fire because you wanted whatever you wanted out the deal. So now when some other things came out of the deal, because again with that civil suit, what were you trying to do? Were you trying to pursue criminal charges and get justice, or were you trying to pursue civil and get money? So it was like I'm trying to figure out what exactly her goal is here. Like what is she trying to
I
accomplish?
I think her goal is what is happening right now. Honestly, I feel like everything that's going on that is being exposed, I think ultimately that was her goal. But then I also feel by her doing the civil suit, I feel like it almost was just giving her like a safety net. So now it not only did it push everything to the spotlight, including her, but now he can't do anything to her at this very moment because all fingers and everything is going to directly point to him as of right now. Anything that goes down within the circle that he had contact with certain people with, like for instance the Kamora Lees and all of that, whatever situations that are happening with them, they're automatically pointing it towards Diddy.
Yeah, but it's like with the civil suit, right? Are you trying to hold him accountable? Because suing a nigga like Diddy with plenty of money civilly is not holding him accountable. He has plenty of money.
Life of Pearl, hashtag Life of Pearl said there definitely was some grooming happening. Yeah, I feel like it had to been some grooming happening based on the age that he had involvement with her. It's very hard to win those kinds of cases in court. Yeah, yeah, it definitely is. And I hear, and this is what I feel too, to a certain degree. But I also agree with Mimi when she makes that statement because I do feel women to yes, you do have to be held accountable whether you like it or not because you have to realize that this is your body. This is you. You know what I mean? You have to protect you on a whole. Your body, your physical and your internal. You know what I mean? And yeah, you may have walked in because I'm gonna keep it real. I've I've seen myself in a situation before where it was just toxic and crazy and I had to literally put in my mind like, okay, listen, is it about worrying about this person feelings and how they're feeling and what's going to happen after, or is it about me making a sacrifice to say, you know what, this shit is just too toxic and I didn't even realize that this shit was what it was and I'm up out of here. You know what I mean? So I do feel you do have to take a certain accountability because you shouldn't have to feel like you need to allow yourself to take a certain level of abuse because you're looking to be famous or you're looking for money or you're looking for whatever it may be. Because when it comes down to like this whole situation, especially with her, she came in as a young lady with a boyfriend and all of that shit started to shift and all of this different things. So you can see also how this grown ass man also played a huge part in what he did, which is abuse, you know, in every sense of the way, because the shit that was written in the reports, it was crazy. You know what I mean? When the docs came out, it was crazy. And it was just like, yo, okay, you know, but I do feel on both levels, it's both parties that definitely will have to take accountability. But then I can also see the aspect of where her mental may have been at.
And you see, I get that too. So now it's like the where I have to differentiate is it's not like we're dealing with you're walking down the street, this handsome man walks up to you, he gives you the best things in life, and then after a year or two, he starts showing this narcissistic side of him.
Mm-hmm.
In today's day and age, even with Young Miami, when she decides to come out with her victim story, I'm gonna say, bitch, I don't care. And the reason why I'm gonna say I don't care is because in today's day and age, especially with social media, with these celebrities, you have their whole Wikipedia. Anything they've been rumored to do, suspected of doing, you know what type of person you're dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, I could agree with that. King Tube TV, welcome, 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 King Tube TV, Puerto Rican 360, welcome. Listen, I totally hear where you coming from with that.
It's like
You
you
right.
know what type of person you're dealing with at the end of the day. So it's like even back then when Diddy started dating Cassie, he was definitely still a fuck boy. He was in the whole Danity Kane thing, the Day 26. Any artist that got in contact with Diddy, he would just find a way to blackball them. And you could see his personality on that show. Like something is really wrong with him.
No, listen, his personality, and even if he said that it was an act, that shit was just too much of a great act because his behavior was so nasty. But even, let's say this, for Cassie, and before the whole Danity Kane situation, where now you have Aubrey O'Day now having a lawsuit against Diddy when it comes down to her also saying that he tried to traffic them and pimp them out and also give them drugs, right? And then this very new lawsuit that just hit today was with a 17-year-old girl that they ran a train on. So it was him and a couple of his friends that ran a train on this 17-year-old girl. Now, it's so crazy, but for me, even when the parents came out and spoke about it, I just couldn't comprehend it a little bit because my 17-year-old child ain't going with nobody. I don't care if he's P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Hitty. I don't give a shit what your name is. I don't care about none of your money. And my 17-year-old daughter won't be going nowhere with nobody, to no concert, to no nothing, to end up nowhere, nobody's hotel, for you to be sitting up there violating my child. Are you crazy? I mean, that whole situation with this lawsuit that just hit, that's a whole nother shit. But that shit like took me off the edge with that.
And that's a whole nother thing. So it's like, well, that's a 17-year-old girl. We say he met Cassie at 18. Where was her parents? Just because your kids turn 18 doesn't mean your job is done. So it's just like
That
these
too.
people get into it with these celebrities. You see the fire and you go ahead and you play with fire because you feel like it has some type of monetary value that comes out of it. But
Yeah.
money is the root of all evil. That's it.
Yep. Life of Pearl
You
said I
decided to go
agree.
play with the devil and you thought you was going to outsmart the devil? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you got to know what you're walking into, most definitely, and then getting into it and be willing to sign away your soul because that's technically what you did when he signed you to that 10-year album, knowing that you didn't even have 10 years worth of music and you definitely needed a lot of training. But he had a bigger plan for her, which towards the middle of the relationship, it seemed to expose itself. Hashtag Life of Pearl said I agree, but then these things happened to Cassie. We didn't have the knowledge. We do now. We do now as women. Okay. I mean, I definitely, I mean, just having a knowledge of it, like I said before, like I feel like it's out in the open because of who P. Diddy is and who Cassie was to him. But it's a lot of P. Diddy's out here, like in
Yeah,
the world.
I've been knew what P Diddy was on. Like for
You know
me, it
what I
was
mean?
like R.
And it's a
Kelly,
lot of
P Diddy was
Cassies
on the
too.
same level.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yep.
if they were to say, okay, Jay-Z comes out on this, then I'll be surprised because okay, we don't really get a grasp of their personality. They're not really at the forefront, blah blah blah. But
Mimi will be back momentarily, guys. Give her 1 second. But no, like I totally feel the same way. Puerto Rican 360 back into the building. I had sent you the link on T. You know, if you want to hop up, I'm definitely not staying on too long. I'm waiting for Mimi to come back up. But yeah, I definitely like feel it was like multiple things that took place within the whole process. But like I said, it's a lot of them out here in this world. It's just that it's not being spoke about because they ain't got Diddy money. You know what I mean? But then I also feel like the reason why Diddy is being exposed is because of the multiple the multiple things that he probably did not obey underneath the contract in which he signed. And they're like, all right, since you don't want to obey these rules, then what we're going to do is expose you. So I do feel like that's what it was. Mimi's back in the building. I was telling them you'll be right back. So yeah, finish where you left off.
I was not looking at the chat at all. Hey, Puerto Rican 360. Hey, Kane Tube. Hey, Life of Pearl. Hey, Rob Money. Thank y'all for just pulling up and having this nice little small intimate conversation with us. So, I forgot what I was even saying, but the only thing I could get a okay, I just feel like with men like Diddy, you kind of get a grasp of who they are. Like it's no secret. Like they men like Diddy are just too arrogant to even hide who they are. He's that type of energy where it's like, I am who I am. You gonna get down or you gonna lay down. So it's just like one or two things is gonna happen when you meet that type of energy. You run for the hills or you gravitate toward it. Because
A
like
hundred
that's
percent.
not the type of man that just has this nice demeanor and then once he gets behind closed doors he comes out with a whole different personality. He is who he is.
I totally agree. Yes, Sleepy Lounge. I'm glad to see you also and just be able to come back. And Mimi, Sleepy Lounge is saying it's like good seeing us again and all of that. It's definitely been a pleasure to be able to touch the link and come back, y'all, for real.
I miss you too. I miss all of y'all. Honestly, if we're being honest, we've had like so much going on in our real lives that like to get on YouTube feels like a task. But that's why we're over here so that we can just get into the habit of hitting that live button so that when we get back over on Millennial Queens, we're just going live consistently on both channels, on Theodicy and on Millennial Queens, to where it just feels natural. We're trying to get out of that going live feeling like it's just ugh.
Yeah, and actually for the first time I actually feel actually really good and just
Me
it's
too.
a comfortability, and like I said, I like the intimacy. It doesn't need to be so much people because I think people misconstrue what it means to actually put out content and actually reach other people that have like minds as yourself when it deals with the content that you're willing to put out. And also just having that support and knowing that people is genuinely out here that really check for us and really are willing to wait around for us to actually put out the content. So it's definitely always a pleasure when I step on this platform or even on Millennial Queens and I have you guys come into the building. You know what I mean? I highly appreciate you guys.
And one thing we do recognize is like, even though the sector that we came from, not everybody wants to be on bullshit all the time. And I feel like we have the content, we have the knowledge. Why not just start going live for the people that don't always want to hear that fuck shit all the time, like the arguing, the ghetto shit. Like let's let's stay true to ourselves and actually get back out there because it's like we're disappointing our people in a sense. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at with it. We're kind of just trying to get back in the swing of things. So if anything, we'll be over here until we can get back a good flow. We're gonna stay over here. If anything, we're gonna go on Millennial Queens to discuss certain topics and everything else. But on a personal level, because we talk on the phone every day, but y'all will never see us on YouTube. That's the crazy part. So what we're trying to just get into the habit of like, let's just the same way we talk on the phone and we just jump through topics and have builds. Let's try to do that here on Theodicy.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. And that's how I feel. You know what I mean? Just rebuilding and definitely getting comfortable with the vibe. You know what I mean? And definitely all about just bringing content and staying true to who we are when it comes down to delivering the content. You know what I mean? It's so much other things that we can be talking about, discussing, and I'm sure that like how we're vibing right now. I have a lot of you, as you guys know, I have my daughter in the background, so you're gonna hear her from time to time. So I'll be right back.
Yeah, so it's just mainly, and y'all are gonna hear Zor, y'all gonna hear her all the time, okay? This is Miss Bossy, and y'all are gonna hear her all the time. She might as well just be a co-host, all right? So get used to hearing our co-host over here, okay? But other than that, I mean, I think we're just gonna try to, no matter what, no matter what's going on in the day, let's just try to find like an hour, even if it's just 30 minutes to just go live, check in with people, talk about topics and everything else, or even discuss like it's a lot of stuff going on, like people going through a lot of daily things where we could just get on here and air out our grievances, vent as women, men, everything. Like I think we have so much to bring and it's just time to do it. Exactly. See, Life of Pro said the drama be too draining. These topics rejuvenate me. It's so draining, especially when you're going through your own stuff in life. It's like, I don't want this negative energy. Like, I just don't. Sometimes you just want to tune out and just talk about something that's will actually contribute to society in a good way. So, yeah, that's all we're gonna do. We'll be back tomorrow because that's why we did not go back on Millennial Queens because I feel like we'll be gone for like 3 months. Come back one live, tell y'all we gonna start going live, and then disappoint y'all again. No, we're gonna be right over here building this up organically, naturally. We want it to be small. We want it to be intimate without the drama. We want to attract people that want to build, that want to talk about real things. We're definitely gonna go live with Millennial Queens, but either way, we're trying to just start in a positive area. But if y'all haven't already, hit that like button. Thank y'all for pulling up on us. We'll definitely be back tomorrow. I can't guarantee y'all a time. Just put y'all post notifications on so y'all know whenever we go live.
Yes, most definitely. You said that correctly. We would definitely be back in the building. And I appreciate every single one of you guys for always pulling up and always showing support. And I just see us growing from this point on with our group of people. And just stay tuned because we definitely got a lot of content coming, and we hope y'all enjoy it. And please feel free to leave your comments of things you do want to talk about, because the one thing we want to do is we want to provide the atmosphere. You could also come and say, well, look, this is a topic I would like to talk about and vibe out on and get others' opinion and insight. So, y'all already know it's your girl Word, And I am back in the building with my co host Mimi, the Odyssey Podcast, Millennial Queens. Y'all already know I'm kind of out of breath, y'all, because I be running upstairs. I be moving with my baby, y'all. So it's a lot. Mimi, I'm pausing for a minute. So I'm going to let you take over. And then, I'm going to end the live.
All right, all right. So thank you. Yes, definitely let us know what topics y'all want to discuss because we want to get into the. Okay, we got some big plans for y'all. We're bringing some people on. We're gonna start having those real uncomfortable conversations. We're gonna have the males here to represent the men. We're gonna have, me and Word, because we're gonna represent the women, okay? So we got some interesting topics to bring y'all and from an interesting point of view. So definitely let us know what topics y'all want to hear, and we will definitely be discussing it. As far as Millennial Queens, y'all will see us over there. Y'all will see us over here. We just ask for y'all to support us and kind of what I would ask is encourage us a little bit. If y'all see us slipping, like y'all ain't see us live, hit us up on a community tab. Type in one of them comments like, where you at? Get live now. So that's where we need help from y'all. Like, help us stay motivated. So thank y'all so much. Thank you, Life of Pearl. Thank you, Puerto Rican 360. Thank you, Rob Money. Thank you, Kane Tube. Thank you, G Dubs. We will be back.
Peace.